Hello pattern lovers, in this video I'll be showing you how to make this gorgeous shirt inspired top that comes with a loose part from the shoulder to the under bust and then a structured part from the under bust to the top length. If you're interested in that, definitely watch this video to the end and do not miss any part of this video, especially the part where I shared how to go about the elastic parts, because you will need that in your other projects. Get your pattern paper ready and you're going to mark a border line which will serve as the shoulder line. Then you mark a button allowance which I'll label BA button allowance, and this is measuring 2.5, which is what I recommend. Yeah, so later we'll be folding it like this on your fabric, but for now it's going to be open while we take our measurements. From the shoulder line, I'll measure down to my under bust, and I recommend that you use your shoulder to actual under bust because the top part is loose and it will be pushing downwards, making your under bust shift. So if you add 1 inch to your under bust, it might look too low, but if that is what you want, go ahead and mark from your shoulder to your under bust plus 1 inch, and then you use that as your under bust. Then you measure down to your waistline and then down to the hip line. I'm going to do the lines out, then label them under bust line, waistline, and then the hip line. Now on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll add 1.5 to it. At this point, it's optional. You can add just ½ inch, you can add 1 inch, or you do 1.5. But you're not supposed to use your actual shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then you go down to your chest line, which you can also add ½ inch to it or 1 inch if you want it to loose, or better still, you use your actual chest line. Do you understand? So I'm going to mark my chest line on this point again, just so I have a straight line while I use my ruler to mark them out like this. Next, you're going to mark your standard neck width, but what I like to do is to do 2.75 for anything that is coming with a collar. So I do 2.75 by 3 inches against my 3.3 standard neck width. Do you understand that? Then for the shoulder slope, I'm using 1.5, and I will connect from that 1.5 to the neck width like this. The next thing I will do is to mark my bust measurement divided by 4. You're going to mark it, then you're going to add from 2 inches upwards, depending on how loose you want the top part to be, and depending on how much pleats you want around your under bust, just add the allowance that will give you the amount of pleats you want around your under bust. Then you're going to get the midpoint from the shoulder slope to the chest line, go in there ½ inch, and then you're going to use your curve to give it a basic armhole curve. Then you're going to curve the front armhole, just the basic way you curve your front armhole, using that ½ inch you went in on the midpoint. Yeah, so you're going to mark your bust measurement divided by 4 here. Then on the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4. But then if you measured your under bust, you're going to do your under bust circumference divided by 4. You mark it. You mark your waist measurement divided by 4. And then on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4. And then I'm going to be connecting these measurements out from the bust measurement to the waist measurement. But then in case you didn't measure the under bust, what you're going to do is to just mark your exact bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line. Then you mark your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and then you're going to now place your ruler like this, like you want to connect it from that bust measurement to the waist measurement. And then you're going to just connect it to the under bust like this, leaving the bust part out. Do you understand? And you see that it still falls on my under bust measurement, meaning that I have my accurate under bust measurement. So now you can decide to come down here ½ inch or 1 inch and connect it like this. If you want to, it will be more comfortable, but if you don't want, leave it like that. Then on the side, you're coming in 2.5, and on the center 5 inches. I recommend that whatever it is you do on the side, double it on the center. So if you do 3 inches on the side, do 6 inches on the center from your waistline down. That will be the top length. Yeah, so whatever it is we have here now, we are going to be marking the same thing here on the under bust line, and then I'm going to be connecting the two measurements like this. It's supposed to be straight because it's the same measurement. Yeah, then the next thing I'll be doing now is to mark the neckline for the back, because you want to use this same pattern to cut out for both front and back. So I came down 1 inch, then I'm going to just give it a curve like this, and then we'll be folding it like this to cut out for the back before we open it up for the front parts. Do you understand? Then for the back, on this under bust part, you're going to make sure it's the same thing you have on the side, that you're connecting to the center back, which I try to measure it just so it's accurate and straight. And then I'll go ahead and cut out the pattern. I'll cut the back neckline first, then I'll cut it out here on the under bust just like this, and then measuring from here to the side seam, whatever it is you have here, that's what you're going to be pleating around the under bust later. Do you understand? I will be showing you where that will be going. Basically, go ahead and add just as much pleats as you want. Then you're going to mark your back shoulder slope, which for me it's 1 inch. And then for this part, I'm going to be marking my bust span from the center front. You come into your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple divided by 2. You mark it, and then after cutting the pattern out, you're going to be notching it, because that's where you'll be distributing the pleats or the excess fabric you have on that under bust part. I don't know if you understand. After cutting it out, I'm going to fold it like this, place it on another paper, or basically place it on your fabric and cut out for the back. Then I'm gonna have to trace this out on another paper for the back, and now we have the front, which I'll just open it up like this, then go ahead and extend the neck depth this way to the button allowance, cut it out on the neckline, cut it out on the armhole for the front, then the shoulder slope for the front, and it's looking like this. So we have these two as the front pattern, which you're cutting this one on fold, and then this one you're cutting two of it. Do you understand? Then for this one, you're going to be taking out on the center back, because you see that the center back is laced, yeah, on this structured part. So you're going to be taking out about 1 inch or 1.5, depending on how much snatched you want it. So yeah, I recommend that you even do 3 inches, so that's 1.5. When you open it up on both sides, it's going to be 3 inches in total. Then you notch the top part, and then another thing you can consider is to go down here to 1/2 inch, 1 inch, or 1.5, so that the top part that is loose won't overshadow it or won't be overlapping it. Do you understand? Once you mark it and cut it out, indicate the top part again, and then you're cutting two of it. Then you go ahead and label this just as much as it will help you remember which part is which part, so that you don't mess up your pattern and also messing up your fabric. You understand? Label it as much as you want, and then you're cutting this one to unfold. The next thing we'll be talking about now is the collar, but first I would have to match up the side seam of the front and back under bust patterns, and yeah, I have them accurate. So I'm going to match up this front and back, shoulder to shoulder, and neckline in the same direction. Then I'll go ahead and measure around the neckline, measure it accurately, measure as you see me measuring it here, and whatever it is I have, I'm going to write it down, because that's what I'll be using to cut the collar. And then another thing you can do, not another thing, another what you should do is to fold this part, then you measure it too, measure the neckline again all the way to that point, and then whatever it is you have, that's what you'll be using to cut the collar, so that it will go around the neckline without you having any shortage. So whatever it is I measured around the neckline now, that's what I'll be using here on this fresh paper. And you should be doing this on your gum stay. So let's assume that this part is the center back. I'm going to place that same value I measured around the neckline. Yeah, I'll mark it. Then I'm going to get the midpoint of this value that I just marked. Remember, I said that you should be doing this on your gum stay, and your gum stay is going to be on fold. That means after joining the shoulders, you're going to measure around the neckline from one center front to the other center front. Then you divide it into two and mark it on your folded gum stay. Then you get the midpoint like you see me do it here. Basically trying to highlight the value I'm working with and the midpoint too. So here I said will serve as the center front, and here the center back. Now on this center front, I'm going to come up here to 1/2 inch this way, then connect from that point to the midpoint, just as you can see me do it here. And then this is where we'll be taking our measurement. So this part now will be sitting on the neckline. Then I'm going to come up here to 1.25, because I always feel that 1 inch is too small, so I do 1.25. I'm going to just mark the 1.25 on the several points, just so I have it accurate like I have it on the baseline, and then I'll go ahead and connect it like this. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to just curve it on the top, and then we are going to first indicate the part that will be sitting on the neckline, which is this part. This is where you'll be joining on your neckline. Yeah, so on this top part, I'll be coming into 1 inch, and then I'm going to be blending it in just like this. But I like to use this part of my curve, so I'll just go ahead and place it like this and curve it out, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. This is what it's looking like. So now this measurement I have here now, I'm going to measure from that point to the center back like this. And then I'm going to come to this part and mark the same value, use my ruler to just connect it straight so that we get the other part of the collar. Then on this center back, I'll come up 2 inches. Then here, I'll be coming up to 2.5. You can do 3 inches if you want it pointy, but I recommend 2.5. So 2 inches on the other part, then 2.5 here. You can even do 1.5 on the center back and then 2 inches here. Yeah, then you're going to connect the two and it's looking like this. Then the next thing we'll be talking about is the pointy part, and I'm going to be using the whole length of the collar I'm working with here, or the whole width, which is basically going out again 1 inch. Yeah, so I'll just extend it to that 1 inch like this, then connect it from that point to this other point that I curved. Can you see what I'm doing? This part is self-explanatory. Just go out as much just as pointy as you want it to go out, but 1 inch is just moderate. And then I'm going to be cutting this out, and you can decide to cut this in pieces like we just drafted them, or better still, you go ahead and cut them one. Yeah, just cut them together like you see me do it, or you cut them one. So yeah, that's how you go about it for the collar. You're going to place your gum stay on your fabric. You gum it with your hot iron, then you're going to mark your allowance all around. Now we'll be talking about this elastic part, and you're going to use half inch or less than. There is elastic that is less than half inch, and that's what we'll be using. Then what you're going to do is your under bust circumference divided by 2. Mine is 31 divided by 2, and that is 15.5. Then what I'm going to do is 15.5 now times 0.75. That's the calculation for this part of, or this kind of elastic part, or this part of the body where you'll be using elastic. So that is giving me 11.6 to something, which I can just approximate it as 11 inches or 10 inches, because we want it to grip the body and not saggy. We want it really firm. So yeah, you can decide to just go ahead and do 11 inches or 10 inches, or better still, you do half of your underbust circumference times 0.625 or 0.65. Do you understand? Whatever value it gives you, that's what you'll be cutting as your elastic, and then you pass it where you created this casing for the elastic. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this top. Go ahead and transfer it to your fabric, add the necessary allowance, and happy sewing. And with that, we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I'll be seeing you on my next one.